Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go-to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're looking at the week from March 30th to April 5th. There are nearly 600 books releasing this week, but there is no way that we could cover them all. Visit booknotification.com to explore the full list of this week's new book. You can also follow your favorite authors so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight with a little something for everybody. Let's get into it. All Carrie is the fiction debut from sports writer Gene Wojciechowski. Joe, a golf reporter with a strained relationship with his son Buddy, receives an old set of clubs Buddy finds at a garage sale. When Joe discovers the clubs allow him to hit extraordinary distances, he attracts the attention of Max Hardway Mitchell, a former caddy looking for a second chance. After losing his job, Joe is persuaded by Max to attempt an unlikely return to competitive golf by entering the Masters as an amateur. As they pursue this goal, Joe must also confront his relationship with his son and the choices that have kept them apart. All Carrie will be released on March 31st. With a Stetson and a Smile is a Mistaken Identity Western romance by New York Times bestselling author Vicki Thompson. After a chance encounter in New York leads to a mishap involving a crucial delivery, investment banker Quinn Monroe travels to Montana to help Joe Fletcher, a rancher facing financial trouble. To delay the bank's foreclosure, Quinn agrees to impersonate a famous cowboy actor and claims Joe's ranch as a film location, despite having no experience with ranch life, as he attempts to maintain the deception within a limited time frame. Their arrangement becomes complicated by growing personal feelings. Check out With a Stetson and a Smile on April 3rd. The Last Labyrinth is a thrilling and romantic science fiction adventure from USA Today bestselling author Gwendolyn Womack. Magellan Brighton, a gifted musician living in a world facing a potential polar catastrophe, is transported to 1829 after a mysterious encounter with an ancient organ. There she crosses paths with Rhys Sherwood, an English earl dealing with his own family's past and scientific legacy. As they investigate a diary linked to Gwynedd, the forgotten twin sister of Merlin, they uncover connections between Magellan's abilities, historical events, and a force that may influence the future of the world. Their search for answers leads them across different eras, while others seek the same knowledge for their own purposes. The Last Labyrinth will be available on April 1st. The Handyman's Howl is the first book in the Creature Comforts Inn series by Duckie Mack. Rudy, a handyman at a supernatural inn, struggles to maintain his life as a werewolf. When Bowen, a human with the ability to communicate with animals, arrives seeking refuge from an unseen threat, the two are drawn together. As warnings from animals prove true, and the danger pursuing Bowen begins to take form, Rudy must confront his own instincts and work to control his shifting nature in order to protect him. The Handyman's Howl comes your way on April 4th. The Death Dealer is the first book in the Love Like a Loaded Gun series by USA Today bestselling author Jenika Snow. A veteran contract killer known as the Death Dealer accepts a job to assassinate Andrei Ivanov, the man he blames for his mother's death decades earlier. Upon confronting his target in Moscow, he instead abducts Ivanov's daughter, Zoya, intending to use her as leverage or revenge. As he holds her captive, his motivations begin to shift, complicating his mission and raising questions about loyalty, control, and the consequences of his past. Find The Death Dealer on March 30th. Monumental is a novel of pagan terror from Nevill. kayaking and camping trip in a remote valley turns into a crisis when a sudden incident leaves Marcus and his 5 companions stranded on private land with no immediate escape. With the only route out blocked until the tide changes, the group must endure worsening conditions and mounting tension as personal secrets surface. As they struggle to survive, they encounter unsettling elements tied to the area's history, suggesting a deeper threat connected to a local folklore. Monumental will be released on April 2nd. Fairy, Court, Dragon, Sex, Magic is a whimsical romantasy satire from Evan Pickering. Ilaria, an orphaned huntress from a rural realm, is transported unexpectedly into the fairy realm after chasing a bear through a magical gateway. Arrested for entering a forbidden world, she is sentenced to serve as the captive fiancée of Prince Darkeyes, an ancient and enigmatic ruler with a troubled past. Forced into close proximity despite their mutual distrust, the two must navigate political tensions, hidden dangers, and the secret of the fairy world while confronting their conflicting roles and responsibilities. Get Fairy, Court, Dragon, Sex, Magic on April 1st. Devious Prey is the latest from New York Times bestselling author Scott Reintgen. When an airship's windmaster dies mid-flight, the crew and its passengers are swept out to sea by a violent storm. They crash on a desolate island, but they're not alone. A dragoness had been stashed in the hold. After escaping a damaged cage, it begins preying on the surviving travelers in the hopes of remaining free. The stranded group's best chance of making it home alive is the young woman who smuggled the dragoness on board in the first place, and the mysterious teen boy who is led onto the ship in chains before takeoff. Both have secrets that could help them survive the island, but those same secrets could deliver a death sentence if they ever make it home. Devious Prey will be available on March 31st. Crown of Ash and Oath is a romantic fantasy from Susan Horsnell. As the expansionist empire of Gyveria advances through military force and political influence, King Paulinus of Riofero and Queen Yvain form a secret alliance to resist its control. Unable to reveal their cooperation without risking exposure, they coordinate intelligence and strategy while maintaining appearances within their own courts. As pressure from the empire intensifies, their partnership evolves beyond political necessity, shaping both their resistance efforts and their understanding of each other. Find Crown of Ash and Oath on April 3rd. And finally, we have Killing Me Softly, an addictive thriller from Sandie Jones. Charlie and Freya appear to have a successful and stable life until a hit-and-run incident involving their car brings police to their door and disrupts everything. In the aftermath, uncertainty over what happened that night leads to blame, mistrust, and the breakdown of their relationship. As each tries to establish their own version of events, their conflict escalates into a psychological struggle in which both attempt to stay ahead of the other. Killing Me Softly will be released on March 31st. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading list, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use, and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations. or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.